Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show you how to duplicate any pal that you breed. So all of these eggs here could potentially hold a badass pal with the perfect roll. Then you get to duplicate that pal using the global pal box. But first, let's just show you basically how this works. So I'm going to be using my Xenolords here because all my Anubises that are in these ones are just to be disassembled over here and not having to, get a perfect roll. They're just there for large pal souls and technological books. So that is what I'm using them for. So I am looking for a Xenolord with Swift. So I am constantly breeding these to try and get Swift to land, so that then I can use that as my flying around Xenolord. Get out of the way, let me pick up the eggs. So when we come over here, I've just picked up all those eggs. We can set them in and hatch them. You can see that over here we've got infinite stamina, runner, nimble, hard skin. Here we've got infinite stamina, runner, and nimble. Something down here we'll have like runner, infinite stamina, mine, foreman. And then we can open the rest over here and we will get, similar ones, mine foreman, infinite stamina on its own. These are the pals that are registered to those eggs right there. Now, if I go back out of my game like this and I load up a previous save where them eggs wasn't opened, when I open those eggs again, I think this was the one that I first looked at. When I open those eggs again, they will have the exact same rolls in them. So all those ones that we just saw will be back again and I can use them. So what does that mean? So when you open in all these, if you find a pal that you want, you can then take that pal and throw it in the global pal box. Wow, my game's lagging. Then reset the save so all the eggs come back and your pal will still be in the global pal box. So let's do that now. First and foremost, you want to create a save. So I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to return to title. Boom. What I also would suggest to do, just to make things a little bit easier, is go into your game settings and change the rate at which you get an auto save. So we can see here that my latest save, the one I just created, is 15:26:36, and I'm just going to take a picture of that so I remember. Boom, boom, boom. Now when you go into the change world settings, custom settings, you can change your auto save interval. If you have it at 30 seconds while you're running around picking up all the eggs and hatching them, it will start to create saves, which means the save that you want to go back to will go further and further down the list and you might forget which one is the one you need to load up. So I just switch it to 5 minutes, and then when I'm finished with this glitch, I'll put it back down to 30 seconds. That's just what I like to do personally. And because we just created that save, we're now going to load back in, open up those eggs, and we will use one of them in the global pal box. This is a really cool glitch, to be honest. If you got really good pals and you like at the end of your kind of breeding pairs, like you're just looking for that one perfect roll. Once you get that perfect roll, you'll be able to duplicate them. I really wish I'd had this known. I wish this was understood, or at least I knew it anyway when I got my Bastigor, because my Bastigor isn't the most perfect rolled, but I've got Ice Emperor, Legend, Musclehead, and Earth Emperor. So all the Earth and Ice attacks are stronger. I believe the attack plus 30% also affects them, and then on top of that we've got attack plus 20%, defense plus 20%, and movement speed increases 15%. If I had known about this, this would have been duplicated at least 3 times. So yeah, that's just one of the pals. Anyway, let's go pick up these and we're going to open them, and you'll see that we have the exact same rolls that we had before. They'll be in a different order because I'm picking up the eggs in a different order, but I promise you that they are all exactly the same. So we're going to go hatch them. Boom. We're going to select all these eggs. So you can see infinite stamina, runner, noble, earthquake resistant. That's the one we are going to use. So we go boom, 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 boom. Get them all sorted. And then we're going to go over into the global pal box and we're going to leave them in there. So I haven't used my global pal box yet. Let's look for it there. Infinite stamina, runner, earthquake resistance, noble. Now, the thing is with all of these kind of duplicate glitches and stuff, you would have to disassemble the original one to be able to pull this one back out, or it will replace the one that's already here. But because we're going to go back to a save when it was an egg, this will still exist in the global pal box, but then we can reopen the egg and it'll be like a different kind of ID on the pals, which we'll do now. So again, hold on, which one was it? It was the infinite stamina, runner, earthquake resistant, noble. What you need to do now is back out of your game and then we're going to reload an older save, which was, I can't even remember. Let me have a look here. It was the 15:26:36 one. So we go here, 15:26:36. Load that up. Okay. Start game. Go in. Boom. And then hopefully, if I've done this right, I think I've done this right, we should be able to pick up the actual PAL and then open the eggs after. Right, so all the eggs are back, as you can see. We're going to go over here to the global palbox. We're going to pull this fella out here. So now you can see infinite stamina, runner, earthquake resistant, and noble. Then we're going to go over, and I think it was this egg here. We're going to pick up this egg, and we're just going to hatch this one, because I think this is the one I picked up first. Nope, it wasn't. So we'll go back in and figure out which one it was. I know it was definitely one on the front line. So we can just do these 3. No, it wasn't one of the first 3 lines. Okay, let's just pick them all up and we'll find that PAL again. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then we can go in, select all eggs, and we can go to here. Look, there it is. Infinite stamina, runner, earthquake resistance, noble. And then you can see all the other ones like the infinite stamina, they also exist. So even so, if you've got like a whole bunch of stuff here, so like if I wanted to do the runner, infinite stamina, mine, foreman, I could have done both of them at the same time, put them both in the global power box, and then draw them out the next time. So if we go in here now and we pull out, where is he? Here. So we got this guy here. Actually, we just put him over there, and then we'll find the other one. It's going to be here somewhere. There we go. Now these are exactly the same, except one is the DNA version and one is obviously the one that was just born from the egg. And that is how you duplicate any kind of PALs. So yeah, it's a very, very cool glitch. Again, it's probably only really useful if you are looking for those perfect rolled PALs, because for me, like with my Xenolord that I have in my party that I'm using, it's only got nimble, infinite stamina, runner, because that's the only one that I've got so far. If I got one with Swift, I would probably make a couple of copies of them in case I got the chance to give it to a friend of mine. But you know, you only really need one PAL that can fly, potentially 2 in your party. Like at the moment I have Jetragon as well, so if I could get 2 Xenolords rolled exactly the same with Swift and the other perks that I have, I would get rid of the Jetragon and have both of these in case one of them die, and then I can fly around on the other one. So what I would suggest you do is, if you're making work-based PALs with all the work-based skills that are best for each PAL, for instance like the Anubises we have here, you know, you want stuff that's going to help them with, you know, mining, transporting, handiwork, anything that fits that, you know, things that help with diet and, you know, running around faster. Those are the things that you want. My Anubises are going to roll really terribly because of the fact that I've just thrown them in to be destroyed. But you know, anything that you can get with work-based stuff, once you get a perfectly rolled Anubis or whatever PAL you want to use, you can then just duplicate it and have two of them running around the base, and you wouldn't have had to put the time in and effort in to find all of the perks for multiple different PALs. So yeah, so for instance like runner and work slave, those are 2 decent perks that you might want, and then some other ones as well. So once you get all of them on the go, you will be able to duplicate it doing the thing that we just did. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy. Now you guys have been awesome.